Welcome back. It is July. It's July 1st, 2024. We're going to be doing our seventh presidential election prediction. Last month, just a month ago, Donald J. Trump was convicted on 34 accounts. Thus said, this election would be the very first election in U.S. history featuring a convicted felon. But not many people in America recognize this. In fact, um, I would say majority of Americans are saying that it's kind of different this time around. So we're going to be talking about, as you know, the 2024 uh, our July prediction, and overall a prediction that a debate that will probably influence August's uh, prediction, as we'll be taking a look. Joe Biden's debate taking a front, as you know, the front stage and spewing his cognitive ability to the country. Questions many Americans if Joe Biden can lead for another 4 years. So here we go. We're going to be going through our prediction right now. So let's get started. We are going to call the few states this hour. It's 6 p.m., excuse me. We are going to go ahead and call the states of Indiana and Kentucky for Donald Trump. Okay? Indiana and Kentucky for Donald Trump. South Carolina follows at being called at 7 p.m. At this time, we will call Florida as well. Well, actually, let's wait on Florida. Florida, actually, okay, sure, we'll call Florida. I can't make up my mind, but yes, Florida will be called. Georgia is too close to call. Virginia, a state that is favorited for Joe Biden, is too close to call. So we have 58 electoral votes going in for Donald Trump. Now, moving on, it's now 7:30. Half hour later, we can now take a look at North Carolina. It's still going slowly in North Carolina. We can call the state of West Virginia for Donald Trump and the state of Ohio for Donald Trump. Joe Biden, it's been an hour and 30 minutes, and Joe Biden has carried no electoral votes, understandably, because the deep blue states, states that Joe Biden would expectedly be projected to win, are in the 8 o'clock hour. So this is what to expect in the general election on election day. So we take a look now. It's now 8 p.m. We can now call the state of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, oh yeah, we forgot to call Vermont from 7 p.m. So yeah, technically Vermont would be the only state Joe Biden would expectedly be picking up during that time around. So yes, Joe Biden would be winning, as you know, southeast of the United States, carrying those. As you know, Joe Biden is behind by with a 55 electoral votes. We can go ahead and project Joe Biden, the winner in Illinois, holding the lead. Not even the lead. Donald Trump's still leading by 4, no 5 technically. We can now call the states of Tennessee, Mississippi. Oh yeah, this is Alabama, obviously. Duh. Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee. They're going for Donald Trump, bringing him to over 100 electoral votes. So far, a great performance for the former president. But yes, we're going to go ahead. We have the state of Oklahoma would be called for him. It's 8:30 p.m. We will be calling the state of Arkansas for Donald Trump, a state that is in his favor. You have the state of Missouri going for Donald Trump. It is now 9 p.m., and we can now call at this hour the state of Louisiana, and following that, the state of Kansas. So Donald Trump continues to move towards the West, and this is how it usually will go election day. As we continue, the hours progress, more states will eventually close. So, yes, Kansas. We have North Dakota and South Dakota going for Donald Trump, being less populated than other, as you know, states. It was pretty easy to call those states for Donald Trump pretty quickly. Let's see here. Colorado, too close to call as of right now. Wyoming is going in favor for Donald Trump. Nebraska at large overall goes to Donald Trump, with Nebraska first and third being called. The second district, a district which Biden won 4 years ago, is too close to call. We now turn our attention to the state of Iowa. It's now going to be called in favor for Donald Trump. You'll see Donald Trump is ahead almost 100 points. This is definitely in Trump's favor. New York, we'll call New York for sure. Yes, New York goes for Joe Biden. 102 electoral votes for the president. We now take a look on Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan, too close to call at this hour. The state of Georgia and North Carolina have been called, boosting Trump almost to 200 electoral votes. We can now call at this time an hour as we approach, as you know, the 11 p.m. hour. We can call the state of New Hampshire in favor for Joe Biden. Texas, too close to call. It's now 10 p.m. and we are ready to call these Rocky Mountain states, the states of Montana, Idaho, and Utah. They are all in favor for Donald Trump. Nevada, however, is just too close to call. Texas, in the end of the day, most likely will be carried by Donald Trump at this hour. We will be calling Donald Trump the winner in the state of Texas. Donald Trump overall having the advantage of the night. Overall winning 247 electoral votes. We can now call the states of Colorado and New Mexico for Joe Biden. Minnesota, too close to call. Same deal with Wisconsin, Michigan, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Maine. But of course, we can call Maine's first district for Biden. So there, he gets 122. We can call the state of Arizona for Donald Trump, another flip. We can now call the state of Virginia for Joe Biden, as the Biden campaign's pretty much recognizing it's over. Donald Trump is practically just needs 13 to 12 electoral votes more in order to be declared the winner. So we take a look now. We have California. We're going to call California, Washington, Oregon in favor for Joe Biden. That brings him to 209. So he will be not losing by 100, at least. Nevada will be called for Donald Trump, being carried by around 5 points. We can now call the state of Minnesota for Joe Biden. The state of Maine will go for Joe Biden. And we can call the second congressional district for Donald Trump. We can now call at this hour the states of Pennsylvania and Michigan for the winner, Donald Trump. Donald Trump wins the presidential election, becoming the 47th and the second U.S. president set to serve 2 non-consecutive terms in the White House. We now have the following states. We have the state of Hawaii that is closing their polls. They're in favor for Joe Biden. The second congressional district of Nebraska is going in favor for Trump. And now we have the state of Wisconsin, the closest state in the said race overall, is going for Donald Trump. And the state of Alaska in favor will be going for Donald Trump. So 313 electoral votes. So there you go. The conviction overall, we can say, did not play a negative impact in Trump's campaign. In fact, it has benefited it. Joe Biden did take a surge in the polls, but couldn't gain the majority in RCP average. That said, Donald Trump regained momentum afterward. A week of the last week in June, and of course the debate, which surged Trump's momentum and pretty much defeated and just put Democrats' hopes of Biden winning the election as an unrealistic reality. And that's just pretty much it. People are going to choose a convicted felon over someone who cannot lead the country. You might, I can guarantee you, if you have a baby run, a toddler, or just in general a kindergartner, the run against the convicted felon would win in a landslide, guys. I'm telling you, Joe Biden, people his age usually are retired. They're in not mental. That's just something different. Don't get upset. They're in, as you know, a retirement home, and they're being taken care of by younger people. And we have Joe Biden, an 80-some-year-old guy, taking care of us. We have to rely on this guy for Social Security. We have to rely on this guy for our general safety, guys. In a world that hates America and hates democracy and wants to kill all of us, we have to rely on this old man. And that is the wake-up call that Americans really received that last Thursday. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. See you all in the next political episode.